These are all of the intel locations on Reckoning in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Audio logs, documents, and artifacts. Now, I've already posted all of them just raw if you want to listen to, which will be linked in the description, but let's jump in. The first one is mum genes that can be found in the bioweapons lab, right over here on this monitor that you can collect. The next one we have is Play to Win, that can be found in the Tower 1 Quantum Computing Laboratory, again just over here by the computers. We then have the Things I've Seen Part 1, that can be found in the Mutant Research Test Area, right over here by this work in progress robot. Now we have the Things I've Seen Part 2 that can be found in the Director's Office, just by the pool table, so you can collect that there. Now we have Reactive Part 1, which can be found in the Executive Suite, just next to this plant pot on top of this cabinet, so you can interact with that one there. Now we have Reactive Part 2, that can be found in the Sub-Level 10 Pack-a-Punch room, so you just want to jump a little bit due to the anti-gravity, and it can be found up here, otherwise not normally able to be accessed, you can interact with that one there. Now we have Reactive Part 3 that can be found in the Android Assembly, just in between these storage units right here, so go ahead and collect that there. Now we have the Great Voice from Beyond, and you need to get to the boss fight within the main quest, whether it's Sam or Richtofen, it doesn't matter, and it can be found just by these notes on this table here. If you need help on the boss fight, there'll be a guide linked in the description. Now we have the Forspoken, which can be found in the Tower 2 Dark Entity Containment, on this conveyor vehicle right here, so go ahead and interact with that. Moving along, we have Dysphoria. This one can be found in the Tower 2 Teleportation Lab, just right here on top of this mainframe. Swiftly along, we have Miracle Worker, that can be found in the Tower 1 Project Janus Reception, right over here on this curved desk, so you can interact with that there. Next up, we have the Whistleblower Intel, and this one's more specific as you need to literally be playing as a Weaver, and you need to reach round 13 without being in the Mutant Research Test Area, then head into the clone room, and the Sam AI should give you a voice line.
Weaver, there's something very important I need to tell you.
After which, interact with a speaker on the wall near this door, and then the audio log will spawn in on the console just next to it, which you can interact with to collect. Now I'm going to be showing you how to get the Brainiac document as well as the Misdirection Part 1 audio log, as you get these two pieces of intel together. And you do this by doing the Ether Blade side Easter egg with the paintings. And you do need to have the Pack-a-Punch logs for this Easter egg. If for some weird reason you don't know how to do that, there's a guide in the description. So first of all, there are going to be 3 different paintings that you're able to collect around the map. So this first one can be found in the Android Assembly, just by these spill warnings right here, so collect that one there. And the next one can be found in the Sub-Level 10 Pack-a-Punch room, and it can be found just in this corner right here by the Particle Accelerator, so go ahead and collect that one there. Third and finally, the last painting that you can find can be located within the spawn room, the Project Janus Reception, just behind this door that you can go ahead and interact with to collect that one there. And you are then able to go to the Director's Office and place each painting. Now, you can place each painting one at a time, or you can do them all together. You get 1,500 essence every single one that you place, or 2,000 essence if you have a double points. Now, you need to get a key to unlock a safe. Now, you can unlock the safe first, or afterwards. It doesn't matter the order, but first of all, in order to actually get the key for the safe, you need to have an ARC XD score streak, either from Lou or the crafting table, it doesn't really matter. And if you come over to the Tower 2 Dark Entity Containment, just activate it, and you need to go on this secret little tunnel path through the metal fencing, come through all of these wires, jump up over here, just keep going along until there's this ether crystal, and you want to just simply explode by this crystal, which then creates a Gersh or Casimir device effect, which will then come up outside all the way through where there are all of these dark ether crystals, and you are then able to break them, which previously you couldn't. So just shoot them all and break them. You can get some salvage and other loot from this as well, which is nice. So yeah, just keep destroying them. You can collect the loot if you want. Maybe you'll get lucky and get something decent from this. For example, I get a Casimir back, but the thing you are looking for is the safe key, so get that at last, pick it up. After you have the key, if you go back to the Director's Office, there is then a painting of which you are able to activate the Mr. Peaks field upgrade by it, which will knock it down, revealing the safe, and when you interact with it, it will spawn a portal, and you will then have to fight an Elder Disciple mini-boss, so make sure you're prepared for that. After you have defeated it, the safe will now be open, and you can get your Ether Blade, as well as your intel. Now, unfortunately, at the time of recording, the Mr. Peaks field upgrade is not out yet, and instead it's going to be released with the Action Heroes event in 2 2 weeks on the 21st of August. So it's such a shame that Treyarch have time-gated this, so the little clip you've just seen in the background is courtesy of Zone X, as he had a teammate help him out to glitch it into his game known as Rexom, and this was also helped be discovered by Skite, which I will leave a link to all of them in the description, as I literally cannot do it right now. But I thought I would get this video ready in advance before it's actually able to be done in-game, so that you know how to do it once it is added. Or if you are watching this after the 21st of August 2025 when it's added, you don't need to worry. But in this safe, you get the Aetherblade, but you not only get that, you get 2 pieces of intel, which is the Brainiac Document 4382, scan of Samantha Maxis's Firebase Z brain, and you also get the Misdirection Part 2 audio log that you can collect. In terms of the Aetherblade itself, it's great. Obviously, it works like a tomahawk, like a Hell's Retriever / Redeemer from Alcatraz. You can throw it a few times, and it's on a constant recharge, so you have it infinitely. A lot of fun. Likewise, we have the Misdirection Part 2 document, and this one can only be obtained during the main quest, right before the boss fight. Once you enter the Tower 3 Dark Ether Elements Vault 2, you simply want to make your way up the stairs just above the container, and you basically just want to run and jump, and as you are falling, quickly try and pick up the piece of intel that's right on top of the container next to the yellow banister. If you are successful, that is that, and you have that. You may require a couple attempts depending on how you are at traversal. We now have the I'm a Real Girl intel, and this can also allow you to get a bunch of awesome loot as a part of the Golden Trash Can Easter egg. And I don't know if it's foreshadowing the storyline for this map, but as you can see from the gameplay in the background, there are various different bins scattered around the map. For example, you can find them in the T1 Executive Suite, in the reception, and essentially as you are interacting with these bins, you can get random loot from them, which can range from really good things like ether tools or Pack-a-Punch crystals. You could just get essence, armor, salvage, equipment, score streaks, etc. Basically all of the similar loot you can get from the vending machine as well. If you get lucky, this can completely change your match, and not all of them will give you loot. You basically have to go around and sort of test out the different locations. However, after you have gotten loot from 4 of these, you are able to get the I'm a Real Girl intel document, as a bin will spawn in that will glow gold within the spawn of the map, and if you interact it will give you a bunch of loot, salvage, a load of essence. In this case, I get a score streak and equipment as well, but you can get other things, and you get the intel document too. We now have Employee of the Month. This one can be found in the director's office, and you want to interact with the ceiling projector, just jump up like the gameplay in the background is showing, and then you will go ahead and collect that there. Furthermore, we have the department heads document. Head to a balcony above quantum computing, and you simply need to parachute down over to where there is one of these Prima Materia spores, and you can see it's just over there, so go ahead and interact with that as you are falling down. Be careful not to die. Also, we have the Mangler Mix intel. This can be found on a stack of papers in the Mutant Research. Go up the ramp towards the end, and then shoot these papers under the space at the end. So simply traverse through this pathway, keep going and go all the way to the end, right up to where there's these papers, shoot them, and then you can go ahead and get your piece of intel. Now we have safety measures, which can be found in the Android assembly. There's a briefcase that Klaus is holding, and you simply want to shoot it, which will cause all of these papers to fall, and the intel, which you can then collect. Now we have the artifacts. So with the first one, I'm sure everyone's done on their first game playing anyways, but regardless, you need to interact with the snow globe in the director's office, which opens up the teleporter, the secret room, to then head to the Pack-a-Punch room. Once again, I'm sure you've probably already done this, so you don't need this explanation. In addition, we have the Klaus arm. When it's a Commando Klaus round, you simply just want to be shooting off the arms from the Commando Klauses, and one of them will drop one of the arms for you, nice and easily. Furthermore, we have the Gorg effects. Now, if you don't know how to get the Gorg effects, I will have a video linked below, but after you have managed to defeat the Forsaken, you can then get the Gorg effects Wonder Weapon, as it will charge it, and you will collect the intel at the same time. Moving on, we have the Fungal Head artifact, and this is another one part of the main quest that requires the Gorg effects, and you want to head over to the Tau 1 Mutant Research Lab, and you can see this hole down to below, where you will see an opening that takes you down to the Tau 1 Quantum Computing. And in this hole you can see a small balcony with a dead zombie and a plant, with the zombie's head on the outside of the railing. You must shoot near the zombie's head with a charged shot of the Gorg effects, which will cause the fungal head to drop onto the floor below, after which you can then parachute down to the Tower 1 Quantum quantum computing core, and you can pick it up from the ground nice and easily. Now we have the Wish You Were Here intel, which is a postcard from Crystal Miller from Modern Warfare Zombies. Obviously she was a child in Liberty Falls when the outbreak happened. Cool, interesting lore, and this can be found if you head to the Tower 2 Dark Entity Containment, and you need to activate the turret trap, and after you have done that, a postcard will appear on the floor where you can see in the gameplay in the background. It's a nice shot of the Liberty Falls Church. I like this intel, and then you can go ahead, crouch down and collect that from the ground. So yeah, that's how you collect all of the intel on Reckoning for Black Ops 6 Zombies. Hopefully this video has helped. I'll see you with plenty more videos to come. Bye.